Hey everybody, Mike here. I was recently sent this bench by this brand to assemble, try out, and then give my thoughts and leave a review for you guys. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. So first off, this thing comes packaged extremely well. It all comes in one box. There's only a handful of pieces that you even have to put together. The dimensions on this bench are 45 inches across. It's about 32 inches high and about 21 inches deep. So the first thing I noticed when I got this thing out of the box was just how few pieces it took to actually get this thing assembled. In fact, I got this thing assembled in 25 minutes. And that was actually looking at directions and kind of following along, which most of the time I don't do. Now, if you're kind of a beginner and you don't put a lot of things together, it might take you a hair longer than it did me. The nice thing is the instructions are pretty clear. Each of the pieces are labeled with a corresponding letter, so it's pretty easy to tell what they're trying to depict within the illustrations inside the instruction manual. Now, when it came to tools for this thing, I usually go out to my garage and I'll find a couple of the tools that I want to use just to make the install a little easier with the tool I'm more comfortable with. But in the case for this bench, I actually used the tools it came with. Believe it or not, it came with a pretty decent screwdriver considering, and the first time I've ever actually seen them include a ratcheting style wrench with any kind of install. That was a very welcomed addition. I've never seen that done in anything that I've assembled before. So like I said, I went ahead and installed this thing with the tools that it came with. It only took me about 25 minutes. The install is pretty straightforward. All the bolts and the holes lined up pretty well. The one thing when it came to the install that I was exercised caution with is if you're anything like me, don't over tighten your bolt on your sides. You'll tend to crush that metal. I've got a tendency to do that on these projects. I had to really be aware on this one. The reason that might affect it is when you go to lift this bench up to get to the storage that's underneath it, if you've pushed on that too hard, it'll compact these sidewalls and won't allow the bench to slide up to get to the storage bin. And speaking of the storage bin, so this thing's a 2-in-1 outdoor bench. The whole frame is powder coated. It should resist really well against all the outdoor elements and prevent it from rusting or dinging up real bad. The woven wicker that's on here is an outdoor material as well. In fact, it's more of a plastic than it is kind of a wood, more of like a synthetic material. This thing should really hold up to the sun beating down on it day after day. Your cushion is 3¼ inches tall, which provides plenty of cushion as I sit here. It's a really comfortable bench to sit on. And then underneath, when you flip this thing up, it has a 60-gallon storage area underneath that you can store all kinds of things in. Now, just to go through a couple of those different environments you might consider putting this in, I've got this here on my covered porch, which is where it's going to live. We'll probably just throw some extra chair cushions or maybe a couple blankets in here. And the nice thing about that is it's actually got a storage bag that's watertight and weather resistant as well. So you can kind of keep all the bugs, critters, water, and debris out of the inside of the storage compartment and then just zip it back shut when you're not using it. Now, somewhere else you might consider putting this is just on your back deck. And depending on your family setup and what you do out there daily, you might consider putting your kids' toys in here. Or maybe you're the person that goes out on the back deck first thing in the morning and does their exercises or yoga. You could easily put any kind of resistance bands or workout equipment in this thing as well, just to keep your patio clutter free. But now, the other nice thing about this bench is it will hold up to 2 or 3 people. And in fact, the weight capacity on this thing is up to 600 pounds. Most of us aren't going to ever come close to meeting the weight capacity on this bench. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with this bench. It was a super easy install. I think it's going to hold up great out here on my covered porch. I think this bench is a great value for the price. But hey, that's all I've got for you today. I'm going to sit here and relax for a little bit, enjoy the sunset. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.